going on, beautiful people? Hopefully you're doing well. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Let's see what this Asian session is looking like. Let's get some vibes up going. Oh. MES, nice push back to the upside, but right back into 68.50. So we got if I take a trade tonight, cool. Like always, you're in the Asian session. Not really too interested in, I guess, messing anything up per se. I think tomorrow should be very extremely volatile in the morning due to the NFP report. So we might get some consolidation tonight. It might just scalp some things, but definitely seeing some top end resistance up into this 25-100 where we fell last night. So, or this morning, excuse me. Yeah, it's this morning. So right back up into that area. If you were on yesterday, we talked about this little hack that I have is looking at the overnight session after hours in my SPY and QQQ. So kind of the same little setup as you can see here, kind of what happened yesterday, kind of sold off past the previous day high, but we're not even close to that previous day high. So the close of the session was at 681. So kind of gapped up there and ran. So I'm wondering if it falls back underneath there. We start selling back towards that 680 on SPY. MNQ, same thing. That's that 25-100. 25-100. So could initiate a little bit of a sell and profit take here. Kind of like it. Using that 68.56, a little bit of a scalp there potentially. Back underneath VWAP here. Just like last night, I'll get a little bit of a starter position. Just taking a little scalp down underneath this VWAP here. And every time I say I do that, just initiating a little bit of a scalp here underneath this 68.40. Love it to stay underneath the 40s. Now, again, I feel like I'm chasing just a little bit, almost the same setup as last night. This lower high situation going on here and potentially selling back into the 30s, but I'm chasing just a little bit. So we're going to keep it light during the Asian session. Entry is at 68.38. In my opinion, not the best. If you're coming on here for the first time, welcome. think still we've got a lot of strength into the market. So some people may looking at this as a little bit of a pullback and then buy it up into the overnight session. I can definitely see that. But if my intention is just to scalp, I can scalp 5-point moves. 10-point moves would be ideal with a 3 to 5 point stop. Just looking for a 1-to-1 during this kind of session. Had a great session today. Traded some futures in the New York session. A lot of volatility. Caught this nice QQQ, or caught this wick here, right, on Qs, and took it down into the lows. Actually entered right here, took it down into that daily 20. Okay. Still rejecting that VWAP there on this 1 minute. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. See if we can catch a little bit of a downturn here. Entries at 68.38, maybe trying to get 10 points would be beautiful in an Asian session. Kind of jumped on here a little bit late. I would have rather entered on these highs of these 45s. And then it would have already been at pretty much 10 points, entering just around those 45s. So again, my intention of doing these lives is just to expose new people that are supportive of the channel. They want to kind of relax and see maybe a trade or just maybe talking through the market overall. I don't really expect much personally during the Asian session. Can be kind of choppy, a little bit slow. So I lower my position size for me personally. And I don't immediately continue to add into the trade until I typically get about 5 points away from my entry. So right now we're only like a point away from our entry. So but yeah, gonna be interesting to see. Okay. Still got to keep in mind anyone that entered up here on this 45 has already captured 10 points here. So may have a shortened risk to reward here for my target, just because my entry was a little bit late in my opinion. I like to kind of top tick or bottom tick entries, but I do like it back below that 68.40 level. I mean, it has the potential of retesting 68.30s and potentially all the way back down into the daily 20, which would be on MNQ. So nice push here. Daily 20 MNQ. I've been using that as a mile marker there. It's right around 606. So as you can see, SPY would be 680. So that takes us down roughly into that. All right, entered at the 38s. We are 38's about 5 points here. Not bad there for a little starter trade. My intention again, lower position size, take a quality trade, get a feel for the Asian session to help me out during our New York session in the morning. If my entry's slightly a little off, I may just, scalp the 5 points and just take it. That's just my personal preference. Some people may not agree with that, but if I would have been a little bit heavier, I'd probably leave it, but I think we can go lower. I love the 6830s, but I guess I can just set a break-even stop loss. I just hate seeing green go away, but let's try to hold this trade a little bit longer to the 6830s and not immediately get out on the first green candle. Come on. Come on. Reject right here. Reject right here. Come on. Right there. We'll get some follow through. Follow through. Follow through. Follow through. Follow through. Yeah. Yep. You could want to retest back to VWAP. Yeah, get it stopped out of this. Yeah. All right. Caught a quick 5 points. It worked just as I said. The entry, in my opinion, anyone who entered up at the 45s got their full 10 points and they exited. Maybe my stop was a little bit too tight, but no reason for taking a red trade on an Asian session. So I do like the retest back at VWAP maybe. I still think there's downside pressure off these lower highs. I know I'm on a 1 minute, but still scalping wise. Seeing some increased volatility as well. Love it to stay below the 40s. Check out the 15-minute. So I don't think that's very strong. Still below the 15-minute VWAP. Below 68.40. I'll jump back in if I see a rejection off this 68.40. Or a flip of one of these candles. This turns into a little bearish flag. Takes back out the low of 30.36. So 68.36. This can flip right here and take back out that 68.36. Still trying to push higher here. See a solid candle volume push back through the 36s, 68.36, or rejection off the 68.40. All right. And some buying coming in. See if that sustains. Got to clear back above roughly 47. And that'll turn it into a bull flag, but nice. If I look on the 30-minute candles, does look like a little bit of a bull flag is forming. Still looking at this kind of lower high set every time it pops back up into that 45. Look at MNQ, looking at the 25 100s. If it clears it, then I'll switch my thesis to breaking out. Can you turn a timer on in TraderVate? Okay, I'm buying, sustaining for now. I see a breakout here above that, or if I see a wick and it pulls back underneath VWAP, then that'll kind of give me a little bit of a sentiment. Right now, the higher time frames are showing a little bit more bullishness. If you're just tuning in, no money lost. Took a little bit of a scalp trade off this VWAP here. Entered right there around 68.39. Took it down into the 33s. So roughly about a 5 to 6 point move. A couple of micros just on the Asian session for now. If I see this reject back below, I'll hop back in for some sells. That would entail still a lower high forming. It's a pretty decent volume candle there. It's going to jump in light just in case it wants to bounce off of this VWAP for now. And then I'll add into it if I see a full failure. Retesting these lows back down here. Pretty much the same entry. Just messing with roughly about a 3-point stop on the starter position right now. We just 1 micro, and then if I see it picking up a little bit more volume below new lows. Okay, so another one just on that new low, just seeing some volume pick up here. If I see that failure back down, it should try to take out those new lows. Let's see if we can get a little retest here. If this one fails. If I can get this candle to flip, entries at 68.39. Target is just back down to these lows here. Struggling around VWAP. I need this candle to flip. Still keeping in mind, it's got a lot of bullish pressure from the squeeze from the New York session. So I'd just like to see it take out a new low here underneath the 38s. As I always say, the interesting thing about my entries, they're always right at the battle zone. Always right at the battle zone. Just can you go in my favor at the battle zone? If you notice, I don't set my stops immediately, especially if I'm in like lighter size or starter positions. I already have it in the back of my mind. Really just don't want it to. I'll just manually stop out if I see it clear back above really the 42s. I don't really give it even back to these highs. I want it to continue structure, break a new low here. If I see it snap back up above 68.42, I'll just jump out. It's battling. I'd like it to go quicker than that. All right, that's pretty decent. Got to get a close below those 38s. Okay, it's decent. Now can we get a continuation push right here? If it breaks underneath these 38s into a new low, it can retest the lows here. Last night we had a monster trade that just went crazy overnight. So let's see if this can be the start of something. Just a little bit of profit taking. Give me 10 points. All right. Don't want to see a wick on this candle. See solid with the 38s. Don't want to see any wicks. See this candle close solid. This is nice. Okay, that was a nice close. This is when I get interested in maybe adding a little bit to it. Let's see this next candle flip. Still only 2 points away from entry. I like the way the 5 minutes looking. Maybe I'll keep it on the 5. That 1 minute's just kind of wicking a little bit. All right, move my entry down into the 38s. Let's see if we can get a push here. Come on. Nice, nice. There we go. I'd really love a target down into the 68.30s, like I said. I think it can go maybe a little bit lower, but just want to be respectful of those wicks. I want to see solid candles. We're in this 5 minute now. Get a nice little volume push here. 38s, 28s or 30s would be great. That'd be 10 points right there. But now I got to get through these 33s. It looks pretty good. Nice. Again, kind of the same thing I did earlier. Like, I would have loved a top tick, but you can't always get that. And typically, personally, for a scalper like myself, if I'm up roughly 3 to 5 points, I go ahead and set my stop to break even. That's just me, just to make sure no wickage or something crazy happens. And I should have wider stops, but again, Asian market can expect some weird wicks and volatility. So there's 3 points right there. Got to clear through this 33 level. I like the way the 5 minutes looking. It's creating new lower lows. We kind of got a rotation going down here, as you can see. Like I said, I kind of check MNQ, see how that's looking. Give me some likes on the video or one in the chat if y'all enjoy this. Let me know. Would love one of those big volume pushes. Just straight through those 33s. Mm-hmm. Would you ever day trade low float stocks for their volatility? Yeah. If you're talking about more penny stocks, low float, not necessarily, personally. So give me an example. I can make it more advantageous for everybody. If you can give me like an example. I want one of those just flush candles straight through here. Straight through these 33s. While this is happening, I already got my stop set. So if I get stopped out, I'll drag it maybe just a little bit to the top of this 5-minute candle because I don't want that 5-minute to flip. Kind of like what it's doing now. That 5-minute candle should not flip and just turn it completely green. If it does, then, you know, I'm out. You know, no continuation, which is fine. That 33 level is just diabolical. Probably going to get stopped out. Yeah. Jeez. Crazy. This is the Asian market for you. And it'll probably eventually go down, but I trade New York session for options and also futures. So what I do like about this downside is it's back below this 6840 and below VWAP. It's probably just consolidating here, and then the flush comes in. I probably had my stop way too tight, but no reason again to take a red trade when it's up. That's just my rule of thumb. So I'm gonna be salty if it, you know, I'm not salty that I'm not a part of it sometimes, but I pride myself in being, was the trade idea correct? If it shows bull flag and just pops all the way back up into 68.50, then cool. I did the right thing down here. I didn't see the price action continuing, and I didn't add into heavy chasing on this low float or low volume grind down into here. It could just be a retest. I mean, I'm okay with saying someone else might be looking at this and saying, Ryan, what are you doing? Why are you shorting that? It's a retest of this 68.35, 68.30. That's a bull flag. I'm long, right? I see both sides, right? But I think every trader has the intention of what type of trade they're taking, or they should. So if my intention was just to scalp it 5 to 10 points for a little scalp on a 1 minute, then we're in a downtrend. Like, we're slowly going down. So I'm not trying to sit here and try to time the bottom until it changes trend back above that 68.45. Cool. I answered some questions, and then this was just a quick 30-minute session, everybody. Quick little 30-minute session. And that's what I've been trying to get these live streams. I know some people live stream futures for hours on end, and I already do live trading inside of my Discord. So if y'all want to join that and be a part of that, if you like this, we live trade options Monday through Friday, and then also futures along with that. I use options or the SPY, QQQ, IWM to help me also trade futures. All right. Answer a few some more questions, and I'll get up out of here. I'm in NVIDIA 311 175 puts, but they manipulated up this afternoon. Yeah, I really think it's tough I think this is turned into a bull flag here. I can even see it in it's really holding up that 681 right now. I think it's tough to swing trade. We're still waiting on you to join us and in the community, Tanvir. I'm just messing with you, man. But it's really tough to swing trade in this market. So if you're holding on, kind of like what you did with your Apple calls, like our idea played out on those Apple puts, or that downside idea, is even with time on your side, I think, and from what I'm telling Tanvir, you've been trading for a while, you know the markets. I just don't think it's a swing trader's market. I think you could have a positive catalyst in the morning and NVIDIA goes to 186. All right. But I'll give you both looks. Is this a NVIDIA bear flag up against 185, 186? I could see it. That looks like a lot of downward pressure, overhead supply off of that down sell from their earnings, bearish flag consolidation. And then if we have negative news, that 175 could work really nice, right? And it would look something like that. But if we have positive news and the catalyst, we break out of this thing, then we're right back up into the 190s. So I think there's a lot of overhead supply / resistance with NVIDIA as long as it's underneath this 185, 186. All right, I think that's a heavy resistance area. It's also the daily moving average stack, kind of like what we did with Apple. So I think that could work out in your favor. That catalyst is negative in the morning. I think NVIDIA definitely could do this downside move back underneath 180 and then down into 177, then breaking trend, and you're going all the way back down to 170. We didn't even fill that gap, I don't think. I don't think we filled that little imbalance gap, or did we? I don't think so. Down into 172-ish. Hold up. Where are you? Come on. Up here. There you go. So I like that idea, Tanvir. It's just all going to be based on data. It's all going to be based on data. But if I were to take a look at this, I would definitely say, it looks more bear flaggish until proven otherwise. Cool. Awesome. Just y'all scalping a little bit of, and I apologize. I don't know why. So there we go. Maybe I'll lean into the camera a little bit more. Okay. Roka said, like, for example, today we had GXAI, like, could ever see yourself trading a stock like that moves the way it does? Let me pull up the chart. I can already tell by what the stock is, i.e. a penny stock. I'd probably just trade equity on this if that's what you're speaking of. It doesn't even have an options chain, but yeah, I shorting this back through this gap fill. Yeah, you definitely could shorting the stock with equity. But me personally, I personally don't. Is there a rhyme or reason? Not necessarily. I just trade typically blue chip companies that have tight spreads on their options contracts, and I'd just rather trade that personally. But could I see myself doing this? Yeah, I can always put it in the toolbox to do so. Yep. Like, for example, if someone had 1,000 shares of GXAI at this support, and they know that every time is at 1.5, or excuse me, like 1.1, 1.2, that support, and they're just waiting on the day for that to happen all month, and then just wait for it to happen. They wake up in the morning or get the notification and they're out. I could definitely see that. This little waiting for these little spurts and trading within that range for equity. Because technically that's a double up. I mean, 1.2 to 2.4. If you have 1,000 shares times $2, all right, $2,000 put into it, equity. Or excuse me, that's one. So you had $1,000. Yeah, you're not fighting any theta or anything like that. Another retest of this channel. So it's either going to break out of this channel or it's going to finally reject. And I really wanted that continuation downside. I kind of like last night, we caught a really, really nice trade. I think almost 10 points. But right now, just can't fight the strength that this is having until it really gives that kind of engulfing candle to the downside. But I like these top wicks. As you can see, people are trying to take it up, and you can just trade it within that 40 range. I mean, I like this VWAP rejection. Should I try it again? I like that 5 minute. Try one more time, see if we can get a continuation. I'll definitely lower the risk this time. I have not taken a red trade, just all quote unquote break even trades. But I like that 5 minute top wick there. Maybe it's waiting for this 6 o'clock hour. Maybe we get some volatility there. It's just top of the hour here. whole new hourly candle printing. If this flips very quickly and I see it, I'm gonna add into it. Entries at the 38s or just underneath 38, 68, 37. Just raise it up to equal 38. Let's see. Okay, volatility should pick up here a little bit. Let's see. I want that 5 minute to clear back underneath that previous 5 minute. Yeah. Hmm. Can y'all blow on this candlestick? Paul, that sounded crazy. Okay. My mind wasn't even going there, but it's okay. Can we get the candlestick to go in one direction or the other? Okay. Don't like how it's holding, but I like the candle previously. Maybe it's just the bigger structure that's trying to take it up, but I don't. Probably gotta keep this stop loss very, very tight just in case some crazy candle comes out of nowhere. But I like that previous 5 minute candle. I think a big move can come if it actually chooses a direction here. I'm gonna stick on the 5 minute versus going down to my 1 minute on the Asian session, just so I keep that structure intact. Like, what in the world? When I see stuff like this, it just makes me want to take a break even trade and just call it. I'm just going to go ahead and set the stop at 41s. Like, how do you have that type of 5 minute candle and not at least give a slight follow through? 5 minute technically is forming higher lows. Some people may look at this as a double bottom, hammer candle. Yes, I see that. So I think I'm gonna get stopped out here and it probably will turn into a bull flag. This looks pretty bullish here. All right. Took a little L. Structurally, all good. I think I'm going to call it, everybody. Just save the mental bandwidth and capital for NFP and go from there. But yeah, that looks like it's holding pretty well. If you want a breakout trade, I think you just got to get a breakout back above the 46s. If you're trading MES, if you get that, yeah, you can get a pretty decent push here. Pretty decent push. I wasn't even asking for much. That's the thing. If I go into my Options here, you can see that it looks pretty bullish consolidation in the after hours overnight session. You could try to just push up into that daily 20. So yeah, it's holding. That is holding for sure. Crazy work. All right. Do y'all see that? Like, how do you have that type of 5-minute candle and not at least get one continuation 5-tick move? I think MNQ is probably really nice in Asian because it's a little bit quicker, but I still like to chill on MES. And you can see you can add in slowly. I don't have to worry about crazy wicks. And even with 2 contracts there, it was just a quick $30 or whatever. But if I would have added into it if it broke. All right, folks, peace, love, and blessings to you. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me for a little bit. About to go eat some dinner, get ready for tomorrow, get some rest, and I will see y'all in our live trade room. If you want to come in and try us out, there's a trial link. Click that trial link, come in and check us out during our Discord live trading. All right, peace, love, and blessings. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.